Okay, I'm filling my pot with scalding hot water, so I can go ahead and put my jars in. It's the pot I made my spaghetti sauce in. Of course, I had to put it in my big bread bowl. I've had this bowl ever since my little boy was born, so it's pretty old and I have an attachment to it. And it's my bread making dish. So, as that is sitting there, the flavor of the garlic cloves and all the ingredients is now going through it. So what we're waiting for now is for the jars to go into the pot. And, because I only got 2 big pots, I got to get another one. And that's for doing what I need to do. And so hopefully, you know, I'll be getting one before too long. Alright, I'm going to move this here, big lid, which I'm going to wash. And here is the pot of water. Okay? As you can see, I already started my water basin for my cold packing. What I'm going to do now is I checked all the jars. They all look really good. I'm going to stick them in here to sterilize them. And I do this by hand. It's really safer, I think, to have tongs. But I'm the type of cook whatever floats my boat, okay? You leave these jars in here even after the boiling point until you're ready to go ahead and put your sauce in the jars. Alright. I think I will have enough sauce for this small batch. I'm making a small batch because I have to go back to Walmart get more jars. And jars in this area is really hard to find, especially if someone has died. You know, people don't want to mess with canning, so they sell the jars. And they go as fast as they're advertised, so it's really hard to get used jars, but you can conserve by saving money that way. I unfortunately did not have that opportunity because I put an ad in the paper wanting canning jars. Well, I've had a few calls on them. And one lady wanted $1 a piece for one jar. Well, I know what they cost. And on top of that, they were in her mother's house, and she wanted us to, or wanted me rather, to empty them out for her and come home with clean jars. I don't think so. So, but like I said before, make sure that your workstation is clean because this is where I'll be putting this batch up. And what I am going to do later on is I got a half a bushel of green peppers. I'm going to show you how to do them. A lot of people do freeze their stuff, so it's going to be a fairly simple process. And a lot of people do not know how to, you know, go ahead and put up freeze or whatever. And also too, I want to make homemade cabbage and noodles. And I'll show you the secret ingredient that goes into that. That is going to be our supper for tonight. So my mother-in-law will be really, really happy about that when my husband goes down with the canned chili, the tomatoes that she wanted, the squash that she wanted, and some homemade cabbage noodles. Alright, as you can see, these here are boiling. What I like to do is move them around to make sure they're completely sanitized. Completely. And then, well, then have that many jars. But the main important thing is the seal. The seals are getting sanitized. What I'll do now is basically I will put this on low because it's already at a boiling point now. So I'm waiting for this pot to boil with the jars in it. Then what I'll do is take my very old set of tongs, but I have new ones here. That's another thing I'm attached to too, is my tongs, because I've had them ever since my boy was born. Don't ask me why, but it's just something that's in me. What I'll do is take these tongs, and I'll dump the water out these jars, set them up, and I'll show you step by step on how to put the batch into the jars, and so forth like that. So I'll see you back in a little while. Oh yeah, as I was starting to tell y'all, is that I buy Dawn. And Dawn does cut through grease. But what I like about this company is that one bottle equals $1 to save wildlife. I'm an animal lover, and I want to promote the Dawn dish liquid soap because they are contributing to our wildlife out there. And not only is it a great product, but it's the contribution that they're making to help save our wildlife, or animals in general, okay? And so that I started saying something about it, and then I got sidetracked, and that was that. So please, when you're at the store, you know, if you don't use Dawn, try it, because I stand by this product. It does cut through grease, and it is a very, very good product, and it's very reasonably priced too. And for each bottle that you buy, they will donate $1 to preserve our wildlife. So that kind of like impressed me. But I am an animal lover. So, but as I'm standing here, I have my water batch ready to, you know, when it starts boiling, I'll know that this canning pot is ready to accept the jars. Now what I'm waiting for now with this pot is for the jars for the water to boil and to sterilize. So it's not as hard as what people think it is, and of course this is going to be a lengthy video because I feel that women who want to know how to can, to do it right, and it takes time to explain. But I can go through the steps real quick. You know, have all your utensils out. You know, have your tongs out. Have your little doodad here, your little thing there. And, you know, I got my sauce ready to go. I got the pots on. Wash your, you know, make sure there's no cracks or anything in your jars. Wash them up. Put them in sterling hot water, boiling hot water. And get your water batch started. Get your lid started. And pretty much sit and wait now. So it's a real easy, simple process. And I enjoy making videos, especially I'm really impressed with myself by doing this one because I must be a camera person, but of course it's my hobby is the camera. And of course this is going to be in different segments. And it's kind of hard to maneuver a camera in a kitchen when you don't really have a tripod. But one thing I found that's very essential is an apron. I am a very sloppy cook. Okay, that's what my husband says. And I'm always like going like this, you know, not even aware that I'm doing it. That's why I wear an apron. And I love aprons anyway. I have a thing for aprons, so I have a lot of these aprons, plus I bought a few at a yard sale. But actually when you can, you are actually saving money. My husband asked me, you know, is it really worth it? And I said, yes it is. And I find that it's expensive at first because I cannot find my canning jars. I had to buy a new, which are $9 back here in Walmart, which really irritates the crap out of me. But if you find, you know, someone who has canned, like your neighbor or whatever, offer to buy the jars off of them because you're saving a lot of money. And back here, if you can get a dozen for $5, that's cheap, you know. And that's all I'm willing to pay for, you know, canning jars. So I know some of you guys are out there bored stiff with this, and some of you women is like, I don't like to cook. But I think if you try it, I think you'll really like it. And come winter time, you won't have to go through all this stuff. It'll all be ready. Like I opened up a jar of chili yesterday, just added my Hamburg, and turned out great. No mess, no fuss, you know. The problem is I'm eating up my profits, so because everybody likes, you know, what it is. So, all right. I'll be back in a few.